This is what happened the last time I tried boiled eggs in my air fryer. Oh, today we're gonna fix this. I'll share with you the exact time and temperature that actually work so this never happens to you. I'm Anadi, welcome back to Cooking with Anadi. See, the internet says that you can boil eggs in the air fryer like it's no big deal. But see, the last time that I tried it in my kitchen, in my older air fryer, that egg kind of just exploded in my air fryer. It was a bit of a disaster. I followed the guide shown in the chart over here, tried various doneness of the egg, and you can watch that full video for more details. I did get a lot of comments. It did turn out to be a bit controversial. Apparently I didn't do it right, so let's see if I can redeem myself this time. So today we're doing a proper test. We'll first do the high heat method in the air fryer, then we'll do a low and slow method also in the air fryer, and for our control group we'll use our stovetop to make a classic boiled egg. By the end, you'll find out which method gives the best egg, how to not have your egg explode in the air fryer, and my precise times and temperature to get the best jammy creamy center or a hard boiled center. Before we start, let's play a quick game. Comment air fry down below if you think that method is gonna win, or stovetop if you think nothing can beat the classic method of boiling eggs on the stove. Because one of these methods surprised me, and when we cut into the yolks at the end, you'll see why. See, most viral recipes say something like this: drop your eggs in the basket, crank the air fryer, and walk away. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. What's different between today and my previous video is my air fryer actually goes a bit lower than what my previous dual basket ninja did. It can go all the way to, I think, 260 or something. My previous one would only go all the way down to 300. So we're gonna cook it at 280 degrees Fahrenheit. The eggs are cold, straight from the fridge. We'll cook it for about 13 minutes. No water, no holes, nothing fancy. The problem is this blasts the shell with super hot, dry air while the inside is still cold. The shell heats up fast and the inside lags behind. And when there's pressure that's built up inside, the egg explodes. Okay, so the high heat eggs are done. Let's plop them in an ice bath and we'll see later on what kind of damage we may have done to the yolk inside. But let's be fair here. If you are getting the high heat method wrong, it most likely is not the method, but how the air fryer is being used. So for method 2, we'll treat the egg a bit gentler. So same deal, eggs straight from the fridge, but the big difference is the time and the temperature. Instead of blasting them with the heat, we'll cook them a bit lower and a bit longer. I'm gonna set the temperature to 260 degrees Fahrenheit. If your air fryer goes to 250, you do that, and we'll cook the eggs to 2 different levels of doneness. About 13 minutes for a creamy jammy center and 16 minutes for a hard boiled center. This should heat the eggs more evenly from the edge to the center, so the shell isn't scorching hot while the inside is cold, creating that pressure difference and the risk of explosion in the air fryer. If this works, this will be the method I would recommend to you to use at home. Okay, so the low and slow air fryer eggs are also done. We'll also put them in the ice bath, make sure we know which ones are which, and we'll check later to see how the yolks turned out. What's also different about my air fryer this time around is this model has a bake mode, which essentially will help cook the food more evenly and throw the air a bit gentler to cook the food. So we've got both the air fryer methods ready to go. One is the risky high heat method, other one is more controlled, low and slow, but none of it really matters if it can't beat the classic stovetop method. That's reliable, that we know. So same deal, eggs straight from the fridge, cold water in the pot that we're gonna bring up to a boil, add the eggs in, and then time it to either get a creamy jammy center or a hard boiled egg. This is what most of us consider a consistent and reliable method to boil eggs. But if the air fryer methods can't even come close or match this, then there's no point exploring this any further, and my experiment from 4 years ago clearly still holds. Once these eggs are done and cooled, we'll line up all 3 methods, cut into every egg so you can actually see the difference in the texture and the yolk. Okay, wait, so I lied earlier. I looked at the older video and turns out I just blasted the eggs 4 years ago in the air fry mode, and the old model did have a bake setting. So this comment over here, you were onto something. I did mess it up. So let's first cut into the egg made with method 1, the viral high heat method. We expect the center to be perfect boiled egg. The good news though is it did not explode. Nothing exploded thanks to the bake setting. And I did say earlier, it's probably what you're doing with the machine that's wrong, not the method, and this I guess is a demonstration that I was wrong. Bake setting is goated. Before we taste it, let's check out method 2. Low and slow, we have 2 doneness in the middle. This one over here should be creamy, a jammy center. This one should be hard boiled. More like medium well. Probably just the timing that has to be adjusted though. Let's try the next one. So clearly this one, low and slow, but cooked for 16 minutes, is a bit more hard boiled because you can see the viral method had that deep yellow, which tells you that it's a bit closer towards medium. But the good thing is none of the eggs have that green circle around it. Usually you get that disgusting green ring when you overcook the heck out of your egg. This has been going great so far. Let's try the classic method now, and hopefully I didn't overcook it because I did have to second guess myself to see when the water had come up to a boil. This one I took out after 6 minutes, should be about medium, jammy center. This one is hard boiled. I think I went a bit over. Maybe I was focused too much on the air fryer. Let's check the next one. You know, they look like mirror images of the low and slow method. This is low and slow, 13 minutes at 260, 16 minutes at 260. And this one essentially looks identical. That's good, but let's just taste it too. Maybe, just maybe, they look the same, but maybe it tastes a bit different. See, what I don't want to happen is if just frying the egg in the hot air in the air fryer is gonna like make it kind of taste, I don't know, smoky or burnt. So, let's see. Tastes like a boiled egg. Let's compare it with our control group though. It's gonna be the classic stovetop. Oh, you know what? The egg white part of the stovetop eggs actually tastes nicer and lighter. I feel like it's way more dense comparatively to the air fryer version. Let me just try the white. The egg white is softer when made on the stovetop, but maybe the egg that we cooked in the air fryer low and slow is gonna give us that. It's gonna be more gently cooked, so softer on the whites. It is softer than the wild one, than the high heat one. Let me just test that against the stovetop. Still, the stovetop one is softer, but if you don't have the control group, I wouldn't notice it in the low and slow air fryer method. But what about the jammy creamy center that we got in the stovetop method and the low and slow method? How good is that center? The stovetop one, it's about the same. The only difference I would say is just the level of softness. You know what's great about the air fry method is it's so much safer. Let's say you're in a meeting, you need a quick meal, you can just pop the eggs in the air fryer, set the timer, and then even if you forget about the eggs, they'll stop cooking. Maybe they'll overcook a bit because you still have to put it in the ice water bath, but if you forget about stovetop eggs, well, you're gonna cause your pan to scorch as the water just boils away. I think I would say the air fryer method is the winner here for me, and it just feels a bit easier. Even though it may not be, it may be about the same number of steps. It's just something, I guess, in the human brain that you have to like click a button. The air fryer seems convenient. The results speak for themselves. The low and slow method looks exactly like the stovetop method. So I guess this kind of speaks to the power of the internet. The only reason why I revisited this video is because of those beautiful comments. I did do something wrong. This bloke did mess up. I used the air fryer setting, completely missed the bake setting, and I'm glad the bake setting does magic. So if you would categorize the stovetop egg, either hard boiled or the medium one, as a 10, then the low and slow air fryer would be like a 9. If you didn't have them side by side, I wouldn't notice either. The stovetop method, the eggs toned out, overall much higher quality. On a day-to-day, I think it's just way less of a hassle to make it low and slow in the air fryer and not even consider the viral method that says high heat. Comment down below which method, air fryer or stovetop, which team you're in. For a guide to make boiled eggs on a stovetop, click the video over here, and for air fryer mistakes that you shouldn't be doing, check out this other video.